And welcome to another episode of Hazardous Verbal Waste. I am your host, YuGiOh. Today is Sunday, June 9th. Got a lot of cool stuff going on this weekend, including the preliminaries from E3. So let's get right down to it, shall we? In YuGiOh news, YuGiOh to release special Duel Monsters deck holder. YuGiOh fans know Duel Monsters is not something to take lightly. Over the years, followers from around the world have tapped into the heart of the cards, much like Yugi. Now, the franchise is taking time to celebrate the hero for his birthday, and they are giving fans a gift instead. And yes, that means fans are getting a special present dedicated to all things Duel Monsters. Recently, the official YuGiOh Twitter made a post to inform fans of a special gift it's planning to sell. The piece, which I will have images of in the show notes, comes straight from Yugi's costume, as fans will remember his iconic deck holster. The belted holster is a simple one that will have fans channeling their inner Duel Monsters champion. The black leather number looks sturdy in the promotional images, and it is lined with metal studs and plates. To the left side, an enclosed pocket is attached to the belt, and that is where fans can store their card deck while playing TCG rounds with fans. Sadly, no cards come with this purchase, so there is no guarantee you will pull the Dark Magician if you put on this sleek belt. You can go ahead and buy the special holster through Konami now, but it will cost you. The accessory retails for a bit more than $180 USD, even before taxes and shipping fees get added in. I personally would love to have this, but I don't have $180 to spend. But hey, if you got the money, go for it. Also in YuGiOh news, YuGiOh announces Blue Eyes White Dragon cereal, new merchandise. YuGiOh fans, are you ready to dine on some brand new cereal? If you are, then it looks like a Duel Monster is here to help you out. A new announcement from the YuGiOh brand has gone live, and it confirms a slew of new merchandise is coming down the line, and some cereal is involved. Over on Twitter, fans got a first look at some brand new merchandise, which the anime will be rolling out this year, which I will make sure to include some images in the show notes. As you will be able to see in the images, the select goods have been shared with fans, and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cereal has piqued lots of curiosity. The cartoony cereal is based on the Blue Eyes White Dragon, and it seems the iconic monster is real hungry. Even Seto Kaiba would be willing to try some of these berry blast treats if he needed a morning pick-me-up, and fans will be able to get their hands on it soon. Right now, you can pre-order this Yu-Gi-Oh! Cereal via FYE for about $10. It's set to release on June 14th, so kids and adults alike can enjoy the food during summer vacation. This exclusive merchandising push is one of several being planned by Konami for Yu-Gi-Oh! This year. And during a recent trade show, the company said it would be doing deals with Pioneer, Loot Crate, and Fun.com to get relevant merchandise to fans faster than ever before. I'm personally interested in trying out this cereal, as well as the Berry Blast chocolate bars, and possibly getting my hands on one of these really cool Blue Eyes White Dragon t-shirts. Obviously, as a content creator, I would love to be able to wear one of these shirts when I go to conventions or even in photos on our Instagram account. I did also want to let you guys know, as a side note for Yu-Gi-Oh!, that I have applied to be a judge at YCS Portland at the end of August. I will make sure to keep you guys updated as to whether or not I get accepted. Whether I get accepted or not, I do plan on attending YCS Portland, and I'll make sure to get you guys lots of really cool content on that. That's pretty much all we have for Yu-Gi-Oh! News this week. On to the next segment. In Pokemon news, Pokemon Go to redo Slack-Off Community Day in Europe. Pokemon Go will be redoing yesterday's Community Day in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa due to severe issues that affected the event. Yesterday, Pokemon Go held its monthly Community Day, this time focused on the normal-type Pokemon Slack-Off. While the event was supposed to feature Slack-Off spawning in mass quantities between the hours of 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. local time, players in Europe and Africa reported that Slack-Off became increasingly rare after the first 15 to 20 minutes of the event. As time progressed, spawns returned to normal, which in most cases didn't include slack-off at all. The issues seem to be tied to the weather feature of the game going down, which impacted which Pokemon spawned during the event. Many players were hoping for an acknowledgement of the issues and perhaps an extension of the event, but Niantic was frustratingly slow to respond to complaints. Although the weather function was fixed by the time Community Day came to the United States, most European and African players claimed that their Community Day plans were ruined because of the issues. Late yesterday, Pokemon Go finally acknowledged the issues and promised that plans were being made to bring back slack-off to the EMEA area for those affected by the issues. No dates were announced, but players can at least be assured that they'll still have a chance to grab a slack-off and its shiny variant later this summer. Also in Pokemon news, love Pokemon? These are the big details about Sword and Shield. It's out this year, November 15th in fact. Once again, specific Pokemon will be limited to each version of the game, so true fans want to buy both to complete their Pokédex. For eager gamers, you can pre-order the game on Switch right now. Random encounters are no more, we think. Much like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee before it, Sword and Shield appear to have removed random encounters, a staple from the legacy games that slowly infuriated fans. While not explicitly confirmed, it appears that Pokemon will be visible and approachable in the wild. However, in some instances, an exclamation mark may pop up instead, preventing you from knowing what the exact Pokemon will be. A new Dynamax mechanic means giant Pokemon. In certain locations in Sword and Shield's Galar region, Pokemon can be Dynamaxed, essentially turning both them and their attacks into larger, more powerful spectacles. There are two caveats to Dynamaxing, however. It can only be used once per battle, and your Pokemon will return to its regular size after 3 turns, so choosing when and how to employ this tactic will be critical. You also have a new rival. It wouldn't be Pokemon unless you have a rival who mimics your journey, so Sword and Shield is no exception. This time that rival is Hop, the younger brother of beloved Pokemon trainer Leon, who also just so happens to be the current champion of the Galar region. Meet your new legendaries. Already seeing the cover art to the game? Well, unsurprisingly, those wolf-like creatures are your new Pokemon legendaries. Salmonzenta will pack a shield-like design which almost blends into a lion-like mane, while Zacian holds a large sword in its mouth, ready to swing it in order to inflict damage. There are raid battles. An addition that borrows some elements from Pokemon Go, raid battles will pit 4 Pokemon trainers against a single Dynamaxed foe. Ideally, you'll want to compete and complete these battles with your friends to coordinate strategy, but if you can't, AI characters will be subbed in where needed. Once you defeat the giant beast, you'll then have the opportunity to catch it. That's pretty much all we have for Pokemon news this week. On to the next segment. In Magic the Gathering news, Russo brothers team up with Netflix for Magic the Gathering anime series. Netflix is partnering with the Russo brothers to present the anime adaptation of popular game Magic the Gathering. The Russos, who most recently directed the Marvel Studios tentpole Avengers Endgame, will executive produce the series, the streaming giant said in a statement. The filmmaker duo will oversee the creation of an all-new storyline and expand on the stories of the Planeswalkers, which are Magic's unique magic-wielding heroes and villains, as they contend with stakes larger than any one world can hold. We have been huge fans and players of Magic the Gathering for as long as it has been around, so being able to help bring these stories to life through animation is a true passion project for us, Joe and Anthony Russo said. Henry Gilroy and Jose Molina will serve as lead writers and co-executive producers on the anime series. Octopi will oversee production on the series, with the Russos' AGBO president Todd McCurath, Eric Cauldron, and Dave Newberg producing. Mike LaRocca and Isaac Krause are also executive producing, while Yuraki Mochizuki will serve as supervising director and co-exec producer. And I do apologize if I've butchered those names. I'm just seeing this article for the first time. Honestly, I'm excited for this. it almost makes me want to restart my Netflix subscription just so I can watch this series. That's pretty much all I have for Magic the Gathering news this week, so on to the next segment. In anime news, every anime coming to Netflix in June. Netflix's anime selection runs deep across genres, ranging from sci-fi to comedy to horror. The platform also hosts a slate of original anime series like Masaki Yusei's Devilman Crybaby, as well as beloved titles like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood and Ouran High School Host Club. With anime series based on Pacific Rim and Altered Carbon on the way, it's clear this company sees the medium as a huge investment. Netflix may have found its most valuable anime acquisition yet with the addition of Hideaki Anno's critically acclaimed Neon Genesis Evangelion, which will be released on the platform later this month, along with 2 films that followed the original series. The month kicks off with the emotionally heady March Comes in Like a Lion and a Silent Voice, with continuations of Netflix originals Kakegurui XX and Aggregetsu to come later in the month. Here's the full rundown and schedule. March Comes in Like a Lion, now streaming. A Silent Voice, now streaming. Kakegurui XX Season 2, streaming June 13th. Aggregetsu Season 2, streaming June 14th. Neon Genesis Evangelion, streaming June 21st. Evangelion Death, streaming June 21st. The End of Evangelion, streaming June 21st. Forest of Piano Season 2, streaming June 24th. Seven Seeds, streaming June 28th. This really has me excited because I love anime, and I may actually, later this month, restart my Netflix subscription so that I can watch these anime. That's pretty much all we have for anime news this week. On to the next segment. Before we get to our next segment, a quick word from our sponsors. Hey everybody, I really do hope you love hazardous verbal waste. Did you know that you can actually get paid just for listening to this podcast? I know it sounds insane, but it's true. We just discovered this free new app called PodCoin, and it literally pays you to listen to podcasts. Here's how it works. You listen to podcasts, and you earn PodCoin while you listen. Then you turn that PodCoin in for gift cards at places like Amazon or Starbucks. Or if you're a good person, you could even donate that PodCoin to charity. The more you listen, the more you earn. So here's what you do. Download the app right now on iPhone or Android, and I have a special code for you. Simply use our code HAZARDOUS, and you'll get 300 PodCoin just for signing up. And if you listen to enough of us on there, you can get a cappuccino at Starbucks or an Amazon gift card on us. So go ahead and go listen to this podcast or virtually any podcast on PodCoin and sign up with code HAZARDOUS. I swear it'll change the way you listen to podcasts. In movie news, Bill Murray and the rest of the original Ghostbusters cast have all read Jason Reitman's new script. Earlier this week, Sigourney Weaver revealed that she would be reprising the role of Dana Barrett in Jason Reitman's upcoming Ghostbusters sequel, which is tentatively titled Ghostbusters 3. But that wasn't all the acclaimed actress admitted to in her interview with Parade magazine. She also let slip that the original cast members, except for the late Harold Ramis, would be involved. It's going to be crazy working with the guys again, she said. On Saturday, writer and director Jason Reitman seemingly confirmed this. As pointed out by Entertainment Weekly, Reitman appeared at this weekend's Ghostbusters Fan Fest and discussed, among other things, the upcoming film, which he called a love letter to the original movie. What specifically got people talking, though, was the revelation that original cast members Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson had all read his script. Sigourney has read the screenplay, Dan has read it, Ernie's read the script, Bill Murray has read the script, he said. That Murray, Aykroyd, and Hudson have all read the Ghostbusters 3 script doesn't necessarily mean that they're reprising their roles for the film. Then again, with Weaver's confirmed return, and her claim that she'll be working with the guys again, it sounds like this very well may be the case. Besides, Murray has said that he's down for being involved in the project. In another interview, Hudson claimed that all 3 of them were interested. As for Aykroyd, he's always talking about doing more Ghostbusters, so he's a given. Ghostbusters 3 is looking to spook theaters on July 10th, 2020. I'm really interested in this movie, I'm sure you guys are too, and I certainly do plan on being one of the first people to pre-order my ticket when they become available. That's pretty much all I have for movie news this week. On to the final thoughts. Normally I would put the other show promos at the end of the episode, but because the interview that I'm planning with David may go a little bit longer than my normal episodes, I'm going to put the promos here. So, without further ado, here's a couple of promos from some other shows you might be interested in listening to.
Looking into the darkness, you can feel your heart racing, the heaviness of sorrow and dread take control, and the voice inside you says, "Don't go in there." Now join your hosts Ashley Ernie and Bill Reed as we venture down the weird and mysterious.
Find the Don't Go In There podcast on your favorite podcast listening app, and remember, don't go in there.
What's up, everybody? My name's Tim from the Shut Up and Dad podcast, and I hope you're enjoying this show. If you're looking for some laughs after you finish listening to this episode, come check out Shut Up and Dad. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and your favorite podcast platform by searching Shut Up and Dad, or simply head to our website, shutupanddad-podcast.com, where you can listen to episodes, read our blog, and find links to our show. That's shutupanddad-podcast.com.
Well, here we are at the end of yet another episode of Hazardous Verbal Waste. I hope you've been enjoying the show so far. I certainly have. Unfortunately, due to a slight technical error, the articles that I was going to use to cover E3's opening this weekend unfortunately were lost. But I will make sure next weekend to go over as much of E3 as I can. So hopefully we get some cool game announcements and hardware announcements. As I stated in the YuGiOh news segment, I have applied to be a judge at YCS Portland. I'm hoping to be able to go. And if you guys could, support the show by signing up at Patreon, that's patreon.com/HVW podcast. And hopefully I'll be able to go with your donations and what little I'm able to save. Whether I get selected as a judge or not, I am intending to go to this event so that I can bring you event coverage, breakdowns of the decks being used, any special events that Konami is coming up with. I do know that they plan on having some kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links event there, and of course by that time Link Evolution will be out on the Switch, so hopefully they'll have some kind of event for that as well. So if you'd like to get some coverage of that, make sure you go to Patreon and subscribe. The subscriptions cost as little as $1 a month, and you get lots of cool content depending on the level at which you subscribe. Pretty much all I have for this week. I want to thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see you next week. This is Shiro-chan, signing off. Peace.